Hey y'all. Okay, so in this video, I'll be talking about how to have healthy relationships. And I know that's kind of vague, but I'll be talking about three main ways on how you can have healthy relationships. So I wanted to talk about this video because I've been having, I usually have pretty deep and fulfilling relationships, but things happen in my life all the time. And that is what I'm here to do, is to share the learning lessons from my life so that you guys can continue to be able to learn how to be able to incorporate those things into your life. So I'll talk about three main things. And I think that I never really actually watched How to Have a Healthy Relationship, but I feel like these three main things aren't really said a lot. Usually it's like the whole listen to them, communicate, like the usual stuff. Spend time with them, the usual stuff. So I feel like these three main things are a little different from what people usually say. And I figured out how to use my tripod, y'all. So this whole time I can use my tripod to do a vertical live so that I can actually see your comments, because I can't see it when it's vertical. So Grand Risings, thank you for liking that, whoever did Grand Risings, and thank you guys for being here. So the title of this video is How to Have Healthy Relationships. So the first thing I want to talk about is that find out what you guys do, find out what you guys like to do and capitalize off that. I feel like a lot of times people, you want to have stuff in common that what you like. Hi, Adrena. I knew you was here, girl. Good morning. So a lot of the times, you may only have one thing in common with that person. That's okay. Capitalize off that in the relationship. So, for example, I have multiple roles, and this is actually another one. But my granny, for example, my granny likes to clean. And so for a while, I'm like, I really don't know how I can connect with my granny because she's older. So I'm actually in the process of moving, and living alone, I'm like, wow, I'm like a really organized, clean person or whatever. And basically my granny helped me like organize my room and like put things together. And I had a great time with my granny, like just playing music, vibing out. She doing her own thing, I'm doing my own thing. We ain't playing tennis or anything. Like, we not just watching TV. Like, we're actually like going back and forth on where things need to go. Like, I really like that. And a lot of the times we have to see the value in things more than, we tend to give things so little credit. We tend to give ourselves such little credit at times. So, really like enjoy that. That is very valuable when you spend quality time with people. We think, okay, just watching TV with our son is not enough. That is beautiful to be able to do that. So really enjoy those moments. It's not just something like, oh, I was just cleaning up with my granny, or I was just watching TV with my son. No, me and my son, we laugh together. Me and my granny, we process together. Like, start enjoying the present moments more. So I would say do more things that you guys have in common. You guys don't have to have all the things in common. Find out one thing that you have in common with that one person, and do that. Maybe just do that with them. That's okay. Because then there's somebody else that you can do stuff with and you can do that with. So that brings me into my next thing on how to have healthy relationships, is to have multiple people in your life that plays different roles, so that you are not oversaturating one relationship with everything. So for example, I like to talk about spirituality. I like to talk about I like to talk about business, and I like to just have girl talk, y'all. Like, I got my sisters that I have girl talk and stuff with. And, also being in a relationship, this shows up in a relationship because we want our partner to be everything. And I was just actually talking about this with my girlfriend yesterday. So you can still have that best friend quality with your romantic partner, but you also don't want to have, okay, let's say business, spirituality, and girl talk. Let's say you have a partner. You don't want to, every time you need girl talk, you talking to your partner. Every time you having business woes or business win, you talking to your partner. Every time you want to like dive deep into spirituality, you talking to your partner. Because now it's like when it's time to talk about things that, maybe you need to talk about with your partner. Now you guys kind of don't really want to talk about it because now y'all kind of been talking about other stuff. And that's just human nature. That's just human nature. So, especially if one thing requires, like if you talking about your business or something, if that requires like hours of conversation and then it's time to talk about y'all, then it's a little bit more challenging. I mean, see this out. I mean, it's to each his own, but I'm gonna tell you what works for me. So so yeah. So basically, I have a spiritual study group that I go to on Mondays. It's straight about spirituality. So I mean, that can look like whatever you guys like, having like a prayer circle or going to Bible study or having like want somebody that you let you go to church with or whatever spirituality with, you hang out with them and you could talk about that stuff with them. So I got that on Mondays. Then I have accountability call. Good morning, Ashley. I have an accountability call on Wednesdays today with my a business friend, and we talk about straight business. Or if I need to talk to her outside of on Wednesdays, I could talk to her. I actually have two people that I could talk to about business. And then what did I say? Girl talk, just my sis. That's what I could talk about, get out extra with, basically. So of course, I probably won't do that with the business person. Now, I may can get there with her. Like, it's not like I don't get there with her, but it's just I can really amplify that with that relationship. Because some of my friends don't want to hear about business, y'all. And then a lot of the times we get caught up with our friends, and we think like, oh, you know, they just don't want to grow or something like that. It's not that, sometimes people may grow apart, but it's also because you're looking for that relationship to fulfill something to you that's not really resonating with that person. And that's okay. Just because you start talking about business don't mean you now got to start talking about business with your girlfriends. Like, y'all could still be talking about guys and dating and like girl stuff and other stuff that y'all like to do, skincare products and stuff like that. You could still be talking about stuff like that. So, because another thing, my friends don't, not saying that they don't have, like, they don't care about me talking about my business, but it's so great when I get feedback from somebody who doing exactly what I'm doing. That's the thing. So, so yeah, and then you're probably not in that place where you could talk about girl stuff with the business person, or spirituality. Like, we dive deep on Mondays. Like, I had a revelation on Mondays. That's a whole nother video. But I really was able to like talk with people who really see the world how I do. Now, not saying that I don't share that with my girlfriends. Like, they understand that too. But I have a time, it's an hour and a half where we just straight talk about that. So now I don't feel like I got to come to my friend and I got to talk about, so this is the way I process life today. I have something for that on Mondays. When I talk to my girlfriend, I don't have to go into full details about my business because I talked about that with my friend on Wednesday, so you can probably touch on like, how's the business going? It's going pretty good, give them a quick spiel or whatever. If they want to go more into it, you can, but you don't feel like that you have to, and you're attached to that, and you need that, and that takes a breath of fresh air off your friend or off somebody else that doesn't really feel like they really can like resonate with you on that level. Hi, Lisa. Good morning, Queen. So another one is, so that's a big thing. That's a big thing. Oh, so what I was bringing it back around to was when you're in a romantic relationship, your partner can still be that person that can catch you, you know, about the business stuff. They can still catch you, with the spirituality. They can still be there for girl talk, but you're not oversaturating that person. So if you have something, you can talk to your friend real quick and then come back to your partner. Therefore, that relationship is more nurturing. And I think that that's a big thing. I think that when we tend to get into romantic relationships, we put all of these responsibilities on this person, and that's when they become, drained. You need your friends outside of the relationship. You need things outside of your friendships. Just like your car, you don't take your car to the same person that oil changes it and washes it and change the tire. Well, maybe the person that oil change tire, or get gas. You take your car to different places so that one thing ain't doing everything for your car. So, kind of same situation. Or if you have children, your children have different roles that go on in their life. Different places where they can go. So you also need that as well. And I mean, I know people say I'm an extrovert, but someone told me this and this stuck with me for a great time, because I don't really feel like I'm an extrovert. I don't really feel like I'm an introvert either. And she said, "Are you the most extroverted introvert that I know?" And I really appreciate that, because to say that you on two opposite ends, like, I'm all about the middle route. So if I need to be in the house, I could be tucked for a long time in the house by myself. My mom says this, and she was unable to understand and witness that. Sometimes I just don't want to talk to anybody. But then when I'm out, like when I'm probably like the social butterfly at gatherings. So I think it's still healthy to have, to not just be closed up where you don't talk to nobody, but also be to the point where you got to be around people, you know. So still have those relationships, but then still have that me time too. So what I would say is, you know, continue continue growing. And I think that this is so important, because we get so afraid, and I understand how this is, because we don't have to leave people behind, but that is part of the process. That is part of the process. You outgrow people, or you grow apart, you grow in different directions. That's okay. A lot of the times we want relationships to serve a certain purpose to us, and that's selfish. So that person may just be coming into your life to just help you with this one thing, and you got to be able to see that sometimes. You got to be, it's always beauty and blessings in everything, every moment, but we tend to focus on that one thing, that just spoils everything. It could be so many things. I had to check myself on Monday. That's why I said I had that awakening. I was just like, "What, Ari? You focusing on this one thing, and everything else is in place in your life, that you where you want it to be, and this is one thing that ain't going right, and I'm focusing on that." So it's just like, dang, if that one thing that ain't working right, I want to work right, my life would be perfect. So it's like, why am I tripping? So, but anyways, continue growing. So one thing you can do to grow is to notice things that you don't like in other people and look at yourself, because 9 times out of 10, the things that you don't like in another person is really what you don't like about yourself. And it is reflecting itself to you, because it's shown outside of you, so that you can look at yourself, see that within yourself, and work on yourself. That is why these things are happening. That is why people are here. A lot of people are here for a reason. We are all reflecting things to each other. We really are very similar. At the core of things, it's usually the same thing. So I'm not saying if you don't like that people killing people, that you be killing people. It's not like that. It's not to that extent. But you never know. You can be a really mean person. You can say really mean things that hurts people's feelings. So you may not be actually physically killing them, but the message behind it is still like killing them. It's still hurting them. Especially when they're not really even doing anything. So for example, there could be somebody in your life, or you could be somebody that you always kind of say something rude or mean, and then, or just notice this in other relationships. People bust out and say something like, you don't look right. Oh, I can't wait till this happen, and then it's like, okay. And then you don't say nothing. And then they say it again. And it's like, okay, you don't say nothing. And then when you finally do, or when they finally do something that's like how they've been saying, like, okay, I can't wait till you graduate college or something like that. Something like that. I have a specific scenario, but I feel like the person will know. So, and then you do graduate college and then they still got something to say about it. So then it's just like, that's kind of the same thing. It's like the same thing as a bigger picture going on in the world. Like, no matter if a black man is armed or if he's unarmed, he's still gonna get shot, So that's the kind of same thing as like the mindset of someone always having something negative to say, always something having negative to say. You got to look at that. So, okay, hold on, I'm gonna read that, Ashley. But somebody always having something to say, like, and we tend to not like that about the cops. Now, not saying that what they doing is right, but you got to look at how you're not killing people, or other people, but you're still doing things and saying things that has that same intent or message, where it's like, no one is talking to you, no one is like belittling you or doing anything to you, but then you got something to say, and then you got something to say again, and then when I do something great, you still got something to say. So then it's just like, no matter if I'm not doing what you want me to do, or I'm doing something what you want me to do, you still gonna feel the need to say something negative about what I'm doing, basically. And that's the mindset that these cops are having, or society or whatever with black people, So I want you guys to look at it from that kind of point of view. And that's why I'm saying, continue growing, continue seeing how you are playing a role in your life and how you can be a better person in your life, because that's really how you cause a true ripple effect with people. When you're around people and you not engaging into the BS, and you spreading peace, because now that is being shown to everybody. We touch people all throughout the day. So if I'm giving extended love, peace, and joy and freedom to everybody I meet, do you know how many lives that will change on a daily basis? And that's just me. So when I go to the grocery store, I meet the cashier. When I'm at the light and I'm jamming in my car, and I'm, people looking at me, and I'm like, hey, y'all, or whatever. Or when I'm with my family, or when I'm with my friends, or when I'm at the park and I see a little baby, or when I see a dog, when you embrace the love that is coming all around you, you are showing people how to be that way. And that's what this group is for. So how to be like that. So I think that those were the two main things I want to look at. Adrena, yeah, I know people like that. For real. And yeah, so, and then Ashley, oh my God, this happened to me last week. Everything going right, and I focused on the very few things that were wrong. Wasted a whole 2 days concentrating on that, shaking my head. I mean, it gets the best of us, girl. It gets the best of us. Trust me, But I think that the important part is to have this awareness. Like I was actually upset at myself that I focused on this for 2 weeks. I was telling my girlfriend yesterday, like, I called myself up, but I'm upset that it lasted 2 weeks, and usually, people would never realize it or realize it after years. So, I got to give myself more credit. Like, Arby, girl, 2 weeks ain't nothing. I got caught up in a little ego script, was getting all upset and stuff, and focusing on that, and not coming from a place of service and love. I was coming from, a like, let me try to manipulate this or control this. It wasn't like I was being real mean, but to me, I know I could have been better. So those were the three main things. The find out what you have in common with the three main things that help you have more healthy relationships. Find what you have in common with that person, and just talk about that. That's fine. Like I said, I got my spiritual study group. I got people that I talk to about business. I got my girlfriends. And if you have a partner, then you have your partner. You could talk about, stuff that you like to talk about with your partner. Or you can like touch on all those points. Because if your partner is like your best friend, that's cool. You could touch on all those points and not feel like you got to go so in depth on that. Or now you got room to give them to talk, You know, because we always say, well, listen to a person. Well, that's what I'm saying. What makes it easier to listen to a person? It usually makes it easier to listen to a person when you don't feel like you got to get so much out yourself. And usually you don't feel like you got to get so much out yourself because you got other people in place that you can talk to and really dive deep into that one specific topic so that you can create more room in your romantic relationship to receive the other person's words and to, you know, because we all got the same 24 hours in a day. You don't want to be blasting them because I can do this. I'm a talker, clearly. So I can like talk for a long time about one topic and then next you know, like they don't even feel like talking or now it's late and now it's just not even time to talk. It's time to do something else, you know. So that helps. And then continue growing, continue looking at how the world is reflecting something to you, and don't just take it at face value. Of course killing is wrong, of course pushing somebody is wrong, of course yelling at people is wrong, but you got to think about, you know, not that specific, not the form that is taken, but what is the content, the message behind what the person is doing. If that's irritating me, how am I doing the message behind it? How am I applying the content in my life? You got to think about that part. And continue growing. People fall off. That's part of the process. Let them fall off, you know. But 10 times out of 10, you will meet somebody else on that level. You know, you will. So, and then you never know if that other person may come back around and see. Just be true to you, do you, and you're going to be good. You're going to be good. So, because we're here for growth and we're here to show people how to grow. If we being stagnant, we showing people how to be stagnant. And that's just our actions. You know, people talk a lot about growth and listening, and spirituality is really quick. It's really easy to grasp. These concepts aren't hard. You know, it's not about knowing how to do it. It's about actually doing it. Like I said before, I like this analogy. You know, I watched my mama drive. I mean, we did too. When we was kids, we watched people how to drive. I thought driving would be easy until I got behind the wheel. I'm like, whoa, you know, I've been watching my mama drive and watching people drive all my life. But then, you know, it just seems like you just going from one pedal to the next and you just do this, you know, that's it. And you just turn and you just straight, you just keep it stable. It's way more to it until you get behind the wheel and you start moving them pedals and you start shifting those gears and you start turning and switching lanes. You're not going to know how to be able to do it. So stop talking about spirituality if you ain't out here holding yourself accountable, you know, crying your tears, feeling your feelings, trying to remove your addictions, trying to be the best version of yourself. Don't be talking about it to nobody else. And if you're going to be preaching it, you better learn. You better be, you know, learning it yourself. Swear. So I hope you guys love this video. I'm so glad I figured out this whole y'all, when I seen my thing turn, y'all should have seen my face. I was like, whoa, whole time I could have been doing the vertical way. And I love this because I can engage with you more. So, and I can see y'all comments. So thank you guys. Have a great day. It's hump day. And I'll see you guys next Wednesday. Peace out.